Hey guys, this is RLC321's Fantastic Plastic coming back again with another U.S.S. Franklin update, but this time with a slight difference. What we are going to be talking about is the Arduino Uno. This is a clone board, and the Arduino Nano, which is what I'm going to be using on the U.S.S. Franklin. And what's good about the Nano, okay, is that it can be powered from 9 volts if you use certain pins on here, which we'll go through, which will probably be in another video. Right now we're just going to be talking about setting this up and soldering these pins in, because the pins come separate on some of them, like this one does. This is from Eligu or something along those lines, which is really good. And there's a few things you need to be made aware of. The Nano or Uno, Arduino I should say. Here is a slightly better Uno board by Eligu. This is what I use for my big computation kind of thingamabobbies. Okay, there's that one. But I'm not using that for this. I'm using this cheapy one just because I think it's going to be a lot easier for me. Now you're going to have, this is what you plug into your USB within the computer, and that's, you can plug it into a power with there, but this only takes 5 volts, which is weird, whereas the Nano can go up to 12, possibly 20. I'm not 100% sure that, so don't quote me, but I'm running it at 9 volts. I did do one as a test that it does work, okay, and I had it on for a good 2 or 3 hours and it didn't overheat or anything like that. But because this is a clone, the normal Arduino drivers will not work, so I'm going to show you how to install those as well. For the normal Arduino, you'll get one of these cables. This is what you're going to need. Basically it's a printer cable, okay, USB printer cable. You're going to need this. Now this is a USB to a micro USB, but this is the older style and it's the only ones that fit inside here. But you've got to be very careful, because some of these are only power and data doesn't go through, so you have to make sure you get one that has data. I was trying to get one sorted out all for most of today, and in the end I had to go up in the loft, look through all my IT stash that's up there, and I managed to find 3 extra cables. This is the only one that I could get to work for the data. Okay, no problem at all. Right. You're also going to need a breadboard and some of these cables. One that's got these male ends and they've got female ends at the bottom. Reason for that is when we need to put a bootloader on this, and when we do, we need to make sure that it's fully functional and working. Let me see if it is working or not. I don't know if Eligu put bootloaders on or not, because I was faffing around trying to get it sorted. I may not have needed to. So let's have a little look see. So if I click on here so we can see what I'm doing. This is the Arduino IDE. Let me move my microphone over. There we go. This is where you would write all your programming and everything like that for your Arduino. And I'm going to make sure, see if this is working by going into tools. And it looks like it is. Okay. That looks like it's working fine out. That means I don't. Let me try and find. I've got another one. Let me see because I bought 3. Yeah, I bought a pack of 3. I think it's like 10 or 12 pound or something like that. Let's see if this one works fine, because if it's got the bootloader already installed, I don't need to do anything with it. So going into tools, and yeah, it looks like it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into file, examples, basics, and then go into blink. And this, if I open this up, this is your a basic blink thingy where it's going to blink this LED just there, because right now you can see that's showing that it's ready. That other one that's just steady showing that it's blinking, powered on. This shows that it's ready. So if this is going to work and it's already got the bootloader built in, I can then just click on where it says upload up here with this little button there. I'm moving my mouse over there and I'm going to click that. Hopefully you should see. No, you can't see anything. Let's go back into there, and it's still uploading, which I think is going to error out because I don't think this is the right one. Come on. Right, no, it looks like it's going to error out. Okay. Right. And these little sketches, the programs that you put on there are called sketches. And this is what you would do to put them on. But it doesn't seem to be working. It's kind of like stuck. Right. So let's figure out why. So I'm just going to quickly close the Arduino, open it back up again. Do the same that I just done a minute ago. Right, verify that code, make sure it's fine, and that's fine, and go to tools, Arduino Nano, old bootloader, and it's on COM8. Ah, that's why, let's change. Right, I'm going to quickly move you back here. So the reason why this wasn't working is on here I had programmer and I had it as Arduino as ISP. That means you can burn programs onto another Arduino or things like that, or the AT Tiny chip, which is what I'd done previously. It needs to be under Arduino ISP. So now in theory I'm gonna switch you back, go to upload the sketch. You should see things start flashing as it's uploading. Well, in theory, honestly, this is ridiculous. This was all working fine. It really, really was. And now it's deciding no. Because it's still showing as uploading. If it doesn't rain, it pours. Okay. Now I know this works because it worked earlier for me. That's all plugged in, yeah, and it's on the correct port. Because that's one of the other important things. Let me bring you back here. You have to make sure that you're under tools. It's showing the correct Arduinos that it's needing to use. So unknown board, upload any sketch to it. But as you can see, for some reason it's failing to upload it, so it may need to have a bootloader put on. Okay, so let's come out of there and go back into there. So what I prefer to do before we do all of that, because we're going to need to do a few bits and pieces to it. Let's put this back into here, in there. I'll show you the normal Arduino first of all. Right, so I'm gonna plug this in here, and then plug the USB in. There we go. Right, so that's the Arduino Uno, or the copy of it, and I'm going to go back into here so I can show you again. We need to go into Tools. We need to change this to Arduino Uno, and then make sure it's in the correct port. And to double check that it's in the correct port, go down into here, go into Device Manager, and where it says ports com, and there you should see it, which should be the correct one right there. So now if we go into File, Open Recent, we can go into the Blink sketch. Okay, and if we go on to, let me switch you back because you've already seen all of this, so you can see what it does. Upload the code onto there. You can see that it's flashing and it's now done. And as you can see now, that blink code tells it to blink that particular one. So because this has got the correct bootloader on, it's going to be working fine. So we need to make sure that we put the bootloader onto here to go onto there, onto the smaller nano. I mean, you can see how much smaller that is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug this. Just put that to the side for the moment because we're not going to need it, and unplug that. Because what we need to do now is get a breadboard. Get our pin things, and what we want to do is place them in there. You don't have to push them all the way in. Let's see how far I need to go. So I think about there should do. Actually, it probably will be better to push it all the way in, because then that way they're going to be lined up straight. And then this needs to be put on to here, just like that. And then that way that's going to keep this all nice and straight when you go to solder it. Okay, now what I like to do as well is get some, what's this, flux, and just put some flux, because the flux is going to help you solder these things together. I mean, with flux, you're not going to hurt it by any amount that you put on, so don't you worry about it. Okay, and I'm going to do the same for the other side. Because what the flux will do, this will help the solder to flow into all of these joins properly, so we get a nice good connection. The only thing is it's really tiny as well, obviously, as you can see. So all I need to do now is bring you guys back once my soldering iron's heated up. See you in a minute. Okay, so my soldering iron's now warm enough. So I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see because obviously things are going to be in the way. You need to tin your soldering iron with just a little tiny bit of solder. Touch it to the side of the part and then just add a little bit of solder until it takes. And that should have gone on there. Okay. And basically just rinse and repeat. Let's get a little bit of solder on there. Touch it to the side. Okay, for some reason it's giving me far too much on here. Okay. And just keep doing this. And for some reason it's not going on as well as I would like it to. What is that? Okay. Ready then. This is not exactly perfect, but it should get the job done. Oh, that one went on well. Okay. So you get the idea. I may have to clean some of these up because some of them did not go on right at all. But as I say, you get the general gist of how it's supposed to go on. So I'm going to continue on doing this and I'll bring you guys back in a minute. So once you've soldered these lot in, you need to also solder this in, but I'll be in this way round. So the spikes, the spikes are pointing upwards and the other spikes are pointing downwards. And that's why the breadboard is brilliant, because it keeps everything all in order. And I'm not going to show you my really crappy soldering job here because it is really crappy. I don't know whether it's my soldering iron. I'm gonna have to invest in a better soldering iron, but at the same time excuse me, you don't want to put too much on, otherwise you ain't gonna be able to see where you need to go with this. Okay, so now we come to the fun stuff. We now need to wire this up to our Arduino Uno. Now, I don't know how to do this myself, so I've obviously been going on Google, and I've been searching through a few things. So all of the links I've used are going to be in the description down below. Go watch them, because this is not an in-depth guide. The in-depth guides are going to be what you're going to find in the links, so please go and follow that. So I'll bring you guys back in a few seconds. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is each of these pins have a different designation, and they need to go into each different holes on the Uno. And why is it so bloody dark? Anyway, so I'm just going to bring you back over here. So here we have the Arduino Uno, which is going to be our programming board, and this is the Arduino Nano, which is our target board that we're going to put the new bootloader on, or the old bootloader on. So if you look here, we're going to have the earth going into the ground pin. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly like that. Excuse me. So the earth goes into the ground, or the negative goes into the ground. 5V goes into 6, that goes into 10, that goes into 12, green goes into 13, and that one goes into pin 10. So we are going to do that right now. So first of all, we're gonna get, yep, there we go. So we're gonna want 6 of these. So let's try and keep the same colors so we don't lose each other. So we want black, we don't want the white, we want the orange and red. So we don't need the balance, we want the orange and red, and yellow and green, and blue. There we go, there's our 6. So there's our 6 wires that we're going to need. So facing the, hang on, let's go back into here. So there's your Arduino Nano, that's where you plug in the adapter. So having both the Arduino and the Nano facing the way that the picture was just shown. So we are going to put, if you can see just on there, you can see like a little nut, just about see a little number 1. That means our number 1 is come on, there, right there. So that's our number 1 pin. Okay, so number 1 pin is orange. So we just plug that into there, and orange pin is going to, if we look onto here, you can see that there's letters, numbers even, sorry, on there, and that's where we're going to put, so this is going on to number 12, which is right there. And then we're going to put the green. Green is our next one down. That's going to go on this pin just there. It's going to go on that pin just there. It will. There we go. And then the green is going to go to number 13, which is obviously right next door to 12. Like that. Next is the yellow, and the yellow goes at on the bottom one here. That's gonna go into pin 10. It's just there. Then we're gonna get the red, which is the power, obviously, and that is gonna go into, there is a 5V pin down here, but first of all let's plug this into the number 2, there we go, that pin there. And if we go up to here, you should be able to see the 5-volt pin right there. That's where I'm going to be putting that red one. And then go to there. Then the blue is the next one that goes into there. This is just basically, this video is showing you how to solder the pins, obviously do a much better job than I did, and how to burn the new bootloader on here. This is all going to be in preparation for our U.S.S. Franklin flashing sparkling lights. And the blue one is going into pin number 10, which is the last, no, pin number 11, which is the final one it needs to go into. Let's get that into there. So there we go. That is now wired up according to that thing there. Okay. And the only last thing is our negative pin, which will be going into the ground, which is right next door to the power. Okay, that's it. Now, before we do anything else, I'm going to unplug the power and the ground cable, the negative cable. Reason being, there's a few things I need to do with the Arduino board first, which I didn't do. I'm actually going to unplug these as well and just put them to one side. So we need to get this set up to be able to do what we need it to do. So just bear with me a second. Right, okay then. So what we need to do now is plug in our normal Arduino, and we are going to do that, and then plug this in here. There we go. So now our Arduino board is ready to go. So what we now need to do is, obviously you have to make sure it is a working Arduino. Open up our Arduino software. So let's get that up and running. So then we need to make sure that we got the correct serial ports and everything is all working correctly. And it is. Let's just do a scan for hardware changes just to make sure. Yes, it is doing lovely. Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to go into tools, board, make sure that we're on Arduino Uno, which we are. Okay. Then we need to go into File, Examples, Arduino ISP, come on, which is down there, and then you click on Arduino ISP, and then that'll open up another window. So then once that's done, we verify it just to make sure everything's working with the sketch, make sure nothing's been changed. Alright, and then we go to upload, and if we look at our thingy, okay, it was flashing, but you can see that our old sketch that we had, the blink sketch that was on there, that's no longer on there. So that's now God's sake, I've got to stop coughing. That's now got the code all ready for us to do what we need to do. So let me get my picky back up, and I'm going to quickly plug these cables back in, and I'll bring you back in a second. Actually, before I do that, one big caveat. Before you do anything with the Arduino or your Nano, if you're going to unplug these things or anything like that, unplug it from the computer. Always, always, always do that, otherwise you're going to be in a lot of hurt. You really are. So we got green, orange, blue and yellow. Green, orange, blue and yellow, and they're going into 13 to 10. Yep, there we go. And oh, I'm still recording. I thought I'd stopped it. Oh well, never mind. So it doesn't matter. We're still recording. And then these goes into the 5V and the ground. And ground. So there we go. We've now got both of our things there. So now we've connected them together. We need to connect the Arduino back up to our computer. So let's do that right now. Okay, and don't know if you can see that, but they both should now be flashing. So what we now need to do is, if I minimize my picture there, I'm going to put you back into the Arduino software that we can see. I'm going to close that one because we don't need that anymore. Right, so we now need to go into Tools, Serial Ports, make sure everything is exactly the same, nothing's been changed. But this time we need to go into Arduino Nano. That's what we need to do. Once we've done that, we need to go into the processor. Most of these are going to be using the old 80MB328 bootloader. Make sure that's chosen. Okay. But this time we go into Tools, Programmer, but we need to make sure we choose Arduino as ISP, and that basically changes our main Arduino board into what's the word I'm looking for? Into a programmer to burn all of that information. Let me go back here. Hang on. So it changes our Arduino board to burn all of the information onto this little doobly flip right here. So going back, this is very difficult, this is, because my setup is not done for this. We are going to verify. No, we're not. Where have you gone? Where's that gone? Did I close that down by mistake? I think I might have done. Right, Tools. Yeah, okay. Right, hang on. Serial com, keeping the S, 18 mega. No, right, there we go. Yeah, so now what we need to do is we go onto Tools and then burn bootloader, and then I'm going to quickly bring you back. They should all be flashing. And then going back to here, it will say over here on the bottom right hand side, done burning bootloader. So now, before we start unplugging anything, unplug it from the PC. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back. Oh dear me. Go back here. unclip the wires from this header, keep them on there because I'm going to keep using these for that anyway, so I might as well keep that there. So now, in theory, this didn't work before. So if we grab our cable now, plug it into the USB, grab our, and there we go. Right, that is now working. I've got a reset pin just there. So now what we should be able to do, if I switch you back here, go to Tools, Arduino Nano, old bootloader, yes, go into our device manager, scan for hardware changes, USB serial CH340, yep, that's the right one, and let's go to File, Open Recent, and let's get that blink sketch. Okay, and upload it. And if I bring you back to here, right, and that is now working. And as you can see on here, right there, it is now says done uploading. Don't worry about my invalid libraries, but everything is now working fine. So we now have a fully working Arduino Nano ready for our next segment of videos, which is going to be where I got and how I got the information for all of this to be able to work it. Alright then guys, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's probably very long and boring, but it gives you a rough idea of what I'm doing to get this thing to work. And as I said, I'm not going full on into depth how to write programs, how to write the sketches on this at all. There's plenty of other places to do that. As I've said in the past, go have a look at Ostrich Longneck. Go to his playlist there. He's only got one playlist and it's all about using the Arduino for the refit enterprise. Absolutely brilliant. That's where I got most of my information from. And most of the time I'm going to be pushing you over to him for that. Okay guys, just to bring you back before I go completely, I wanted to show you how just changing a few things on our blink program. Okay, you can see the LED is blinking there, and I don't know if you can see that, can you? Yes, you can. So you can see how that's blinking. That's changed from what it was previously. So let's go back to our program and show you. So down here is where it's telling you how long to wait for certain things. So I'm going to change this. Where I'll change it to 5,000. I'm going to change that to back to 1,000. I'm going to keep this one at 100. And then I'm going to go back up to upload and let's see what happens. And there you go. We've now changed part of the programming. So let's see if we can go a little bit further. Let's see if we can go this one. Let's go to there again, sorry. Go back into our program, change this to what, 2000, and keep the other one as 1000 and upload. Let's see what it does. And it's going to stay off for 2 seconds and stay on for 1 second, because each of these timings is 1 millisecond, I believe. So 1000 is 1 second, so 2000 is 2 seconds. So let's put these down to 10 on each of them and see what happens, shall we? It is actually blinking so fast you can't even see it blinking. Right, let's go with 5 50 and 50 then, because that might be a bit too much. And let's go on there, and let's see what it does there. And there we go. Yeah, we've got almost like a blinking, flashing thing, which could, by the way, we could potentially use this for phasers. Oh yeah, we could. Yes, we could potentially use this for phasers, and this is just by changing a few different settings in the Arduino program that we've got there. But we go into more detail on that on another video. So guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye now.